Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jadvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jadvaita Chandra Jaya Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Bhuta Kada Maryam Dadati Swakadantikam Te Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajeevam Sadhaitam Shri Radha
Krishna Padan Saranali.
He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Prapta Kanta
Gauram Viram Viram Shri 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 Om Bhavan Krishna 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 Krishna
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram.
Vishnupadaya Krishnapistarvitam Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nideshesha Shrimati Mukham Karoti Vacha So we are reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila Chapter 13, in text 120. So this is a description of the advents of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So very, very beautiful description. Honestly, I have never appreciated this so much, even though read, heard many times, every Gop Purnima, so many years, heard so much about this, but it's amazing how by reading, with all of you, and every word, it really was very nice, very nice. Shikala, right? You had a nice program on Sunday.
Thanks to you.
It was on Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Yes.
Of Shichira Mahaprabhu. And very nicely, Shikala, she took all the passages, right? From this.
Guru Maharaj, mercy and your.
So it was very good. So meaning that whatever we are hearing, we are repeating and giving pleasure to the devotees. Now, recite this verse. Vaishnava Shankara Alampata Shubhadanta Dhana Bhogina Abhina
Pahapavati Vato Dhinashi Nilekato Vishnu Rite Vijete Nadana.
Jagannath Mishra was an ideal Vaishnava. He was peaceful, restrained in sense gratification, pure and controlled. Therefore, he had no desire to enjoy material opulence. Whatever money came because of the influence of his transcendental son, he gave it in charity to the Brahmanas for the satisfaction of Vishnu. So this is a very rare quality. Whatever money came because of the influence, so because The boy was so attractive, so attractive. The entire universe was actually coming. This is what we read. The Devis, the Devi came as Brahmanas, wives of Brahmanas, and all the Brahmanas in the an area also, and even far from Shantipur, when they heard a child was born, so they brought so much gifts. So much gifts, he could have said, oh, here my child is famous, so let me capture all this wealth that's coming and let me enjoy life, right? Some people may think like this. But Jagannath Mishra, what did he do? He gave them in charity. He gave all that opulence in charity to the Brahmanas for the satisfaction of Vishnu, meaning he knows that this, whatever he's receiving, he's a Brahmana, right? Jagannath Mishra, he's a Brahmana and an ideal Vaishnava. Besides being a Brahmana, he's an ideal Vaishnava. So he distributed to the Brahmanas for the satisfaction of Vishnu, knowing that whatever he is giving in charity will be used in the service of Lord Vishnu. Laganam Gani Harashamati Nilambara Chakravati Gupte Kechuka Hilya Mishre Mahapurushe Rachina Lagane Hunge Bhuna Bhuna Dekhiye Tarive Samsare. After calculating the birth moment of Lord Chaitanya, Lagna Gani, so the Lagna Gani means astrological calculation of the birth moment. So after calculating the birth moment of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nilambara Chakravarti privately said to Jagannath Mishra that he saw all the different symptoms of a great personality in both the body and birth moment of the child. Thus, he understood that in the future, this child will deliver all the three worlds. How many years did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibit his pastimes in this world?
48.
So in that time, so he came for a very brief moment, you could say, but he came to deliver all the three. Well, just imagine how potent the Supreme Lord is, that he stayed for only 48 years. And how many years has passed since the Lord appeared?
500.
500.
500. Which year did the Lord Chaitanya appear?
14 something. 1406, I think.
1407.
07.
1407.
32 years.
Shakabda, Bengali Shakabda year, is it? I forgot. And in our Gregorian Christian calendar, is it 1486? Something like that. Let's check.
1486 AD, it says.
Yeah.
On the, yeah.
Right. So 514 years. Right. Mahaprabhu appeared. I said that he's extremely potent. He exhibited his pastime for 48 years only. But I said that he's extremely potent. Why did I say this?
Can
Mother,
you increase your volume a bit? Your volume.
Yeah, I'm saying that. 1 minute. My volume is maximum. Yeah, I'm saying that Mahaprabhu is extremely influential and potent. He appeared for only 48 years, but I'm saying that he was most potent and influential. Why am I saying this?
Because he could deliver the three worlds in such a short span of time.
One is Mataji, it is Kali Yuga and it was most fallen and in the shortest period of time compared to Lord Rama and Krishna, Mataji.
Because today we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, we are worshipping Gaunitai, and we are following his process. He appeared for only 48 years and he left. And when he left, not that everything vanished with him, isn't it?
Because
So-
of the process that he left behind. So it continued even after he left. That's right.
And we can see with Srila Prabhupada also. How many years did Prabhupada give us the process of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Revision to all of us who are Prabhupada Anugas. How many years?
Years.
No,
He was
69.
81 years old when he died, no? Is that what you're asking?
I'm asking him, how many years did Prabhupada give the entire world in the process?
81.
Years. In
15
10 years.
years. 15. 15.
11, I think. 11.
79 to 84 or 85.
69 to 77, Mataji.
77. Yeah. He died in November 77.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
10 years.
80,
That's 10 years that he gave us.
Okay, how many years Prabhupada set up the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
11.
11 years. Right. In 11 years, Srila Prabhupada set up this entire international society for Krishna consciousness. So here we say that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared for 48 years, he manifested his person, he left and said that he would, this in future, this child will deliver the three worlds in future, right? Prabhupada appeared in which year?
1896.
1896. Prabhupada appeared in 1896. All right. 500 years after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, plus minus. All right. So here said us is he understood that in the future, this child will deliver all the three worlds. So very systematically, the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was brought forward, and Srila Prabhupada in only 11 years, he established the movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we should know that what we are witnessing, what we are dealing with is something that is absolutely divine. Absolutely divine. And it's our chance, it's our opportunity to grab his teaching and follow the process and remove ourselves from this ocean of material misery, right? Text 122. Okay, Anupama Madhuri, you want to read?
Okay, thank you, Hare Krishna. Mataji, the tune, Ache, Aiche Prabhu.
Yeah. Shri Guru Charana Padma.
Aiche Prabhu Sachi Gara Kripaye Kailavatara Ehiya Karanai Shravana Vara Prabhu Daya Maya Tanre Hayana Sadaya Shripaya Tanhara Charana. Translation. In this way, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, out of his causeless mercy, made his advent in the house of Sachi Devi. Lord Chaitanya is very merciful to anyone who narration. And thus such a person attains the lotus feet of the Lord. Text 123. Paya Manushya Janma Yena Sune Goda Guna Hena Janma Tara Vyartha Haila Paya Amrita Dhuni Pi Visha Kartapan Janmiya Se Keni Nahi Maila. Translation. Anyone who attains the human body but does not take to the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is baffled in his opportunity. Amrita Dhuni is the flowing river of the nectar of devotional service. If after getting a human body, one drinks the water in a poisoned pit of material happiness instead of the water of such a river, it would be better for him not to have lived, but to have died long ago. Purport. In this connection, Srimad Prabodhananda Saraswati has composed the following verses in the Chaitanya Chandamrita 37, 36, 34. Achente idam vishwam yadhi chaitanyam ishwaram na vidu sarvashastregya hiyapi brahmyanti te janaha. This material world is without Krishna consciousness. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna consciousness personified. Therefore, if a very learned scholar or scientist does not understand Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, certainly he is wandering uselessly in this world. Prasarita Maha Prema Piyusha Rasa Sagara Chaitanya Chandre Prakate Yo Dino Dina Eva Saha. A person who does not take advantage of the nectar of devotional service overflowing during the presence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's cult is certainly the poorest of the poor. Avatirne Gaurachand Uttirne Prema Sagare Suprakashita Ratnauge Yo Dino Dina Eva Saha. The advent of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just like an expanding ocean of nectar. One who does not collect the valuable jewels within this ocean is certainly the poorest of the poor. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.19, 20, 23 states, Swavid vara hostra kharer samstuta purusha pashu na yat karna patho peto jatu nama gada agrajah. Vile badrukutram bato kurukrama vikramanye na shinvata karna pute naras Vivasa Shiva na chopa gayati Jivan chavo bhagvatangri renu na jati martyo abhilabhetayastu Shri Vishnu padya manjusastulasya swashan chavo yasna tuna vedanandham. A person who has no connection with Krishna consciousness may be a very great personality in so-called human society, but actually he is no better than a great animal. Such big animals are generally praised by other animals like dogs, hogs, camels, and asses. A person who does not lend his oral reception to hearing about the Supreme Personality of Godhead must be considered to have ear holes like holes in a field. Although that person has a tongue, it is like the tongue of a frog, which unnecessarily creates a disturbance by croaking, inviting a snake of death. Similarly, a person who neither takes advantage of the dust of the lotus feet of great devotees, nor smells the tulsi leaves offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, must be considered dead even though he is supposedly working. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam 10.1.4 states, Nivritta tase upagiyamana bhavau sadhakshotra mano abhriyamat उत्तम श्लोका गुणानुवादात् पुमान virajeta vina pashutnat. Who but the animal killer or the killer of the soul will not care to hear glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Such glorification is enjoyed by persons liberated from the contamination of this material world. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam 3.23.56 says, Na tirtha pada sevayai jivana api mrityo hisai. Although a person is apparently living, if he does not serve the lotus feet of the great devotees, he is to be considered a dead body. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, so I think Robert has just said the same thing that we've been discussing, right? But our good fortune that we are getting the mercy of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and therefore, if we don't take if we don't take this opportunity, then certainly the poorest of the poor and the most poorest of the poorest are those who actually come to Krishna consciousness, who chant Hare Krishna, who worship God Nitai, and they go away. They are indeed the poorest of the poorest. So, yeah, so we have to be extremely careful that Mahaprabhu is so merciful, extremely merciful, and giving everybody a chance to become Krishna conscious and to become liberated from the cycle of birth and death. And if we don't take advantage, or we neglect, or we turn against what we already received, it's a great misfortune. All right, Indira Radha, you would like to read 124?
Hare Krishna, thank you. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Acharya Advaita Chandra Swarupa Rupa Raghunatha Das Inha Sabara Sri Charana Shire Vandini Jadana Janma Lila Gaila Krishna Das. Taking on my head as my own property the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Gopal, Acharya Advaita Chandra, Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami, and Raghunatha Goswami, I, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, have thus described the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, Advaita Prabhu, Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami, Raghunatha, and their followers are all accepted by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Anyone who follows in the footsteps of Kaviraj Goswami also accepts the lotus feet of the above mentioned lords as his personal property. For a materialistic person, material wealth and opulence are only illusory. Actually, they are not possessions but entanglements, because by enjoying the material world, a conditioned soul becomes more and more entangled by incurring debt for his present enjoyment. Unfortunately, a conditioned soul considers property for which he is in debt to be his own, and he is very busy acquiring such property. But a devotee considers such property not real property, but simply an entanglement in the material world. If Lord Krishna is very pleased with a devotee, he takes away his material property, as he states in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10:88a, Yasyaham anugrama
Anugraha Nami.
anugrahnami harishye tat dhanam sane. To show special favor to a devotee, I take away all his material property. Similarly, Narottam Das Thakur says, Dhana Mura Nityananda, Radha Krishna Sri Charan, Sei Mura Pranadhan. My real riches are Nityananda Prabhu and the lotus feet of Sri Radha and Krishna. He further prays, O Lord, kindly give me this opulence. I do not want anything but your lotus feet as my property. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung in many places that his real property is the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. Unfortunately, we are interested in unreal property and are neglecting our real property. Adhane yatana kari dhana teya tini. Sometimes Smartas consider Raghunath Das Goswami a Shudra, but Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami here specially mentions Swarup Rupa Raghunath Das. Therefore, one who considers the lotus feet of Raghunath Das to be transcendental to all divisions of the caste system enjoys the riches of actual spiritual bliss. Right. Thus, and the Bhaktivedanta purport to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 13th chapter, describing the advent of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hari Bol.
So this is end of this chapter, Advent of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I hope that all of us here, that every morning we go in our own temple room or our temple altar and we bow down and we recite these prayers. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tathagatamanam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha. Every single day, when we go in our temple room, so very importantly, say that taking on my head as my own property, the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya Chand, Swarup Damodar, Rup Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, I, Krishna Das, Kaviraj Goswami have thus described the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is how he's done. Shire Bandi Nija Dhan. So the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. This is his wealth. All right, we'll continue with next chapter 14. Okay, Shinya, you want to read? Chapter 14.
Yes, thank you, Hare Krishna. Lord Chaitanya's childhood pastimes. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given a summary of this chapter in his Amrita Pravaha Bhasya. In the 14th chapter, there is a description of how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enjoyed his childhood pastimes, crawling, crying, eating dirt, and giving intelligence to his mother, favoring a Brahmana guest, riding on the shoulders of two thieves, and misleading them to his own house, and on the plea of being diseased, taking prasadam in the house of Hiranya and Jagadisha on the Ekadashi day. The chapter further describes how he displayed himself as a naughty boy, how when his mother fainted, he brought a coconut to her on his head, how he joked with girls of the same age on the banks of the Ganges, how he accepted worshipful paraphernalia from Srimati Lakshmi Devi, how he sat down in a garbage pit and instructed his mother in transcendental knowledge, how he left the pit on the order of his mother, and how he dealt with his father with full affection. Text 1. Katanchana smrite yasmin dos karam sukaram bhavet vismrite vira viparitam Siyat Sri Chaitanya Namamitam. Things that are very difficult to do become easy to execute if one somehow or other simply remembers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But if one does not remember him, even easy things become very difficult. To this, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my respectful obeisances. In his book Chaitanya Chandramrita, Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati says, one who receives a little favor from the Lord becomes so exalted that he does not care even for liberation, which is sought after by many great scholars and philosophers. Similarly, a devotee of Lord Chaitanya considers residence in the heavenly planets will o' the wisp. He surpasses the perfection of mystic yoga power, because for him the senses are like snakes with broken fangs. A snake is a very fearful and dangerous animal because of his poison fangs, but if these fangs are broken, the appearance of a snake is no cause for fear. The yoga principles are meant to control the senses, but there is no scope for the senses of one engaged in the service of the Lord to be dangerous like snakes. These are the gifts of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Hari Bhakti Vilas confirms that difficult things become easy to understand if one remembers Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and easy things become very difficult to understand if one forgets him. We actually see that even those who are very great scientists, in the eyes of the general public, cannot understand the very simple idea that life comes from life, because they do not have the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They defend the false understanding that life comes from matter, although they cannot prove that this is a fact. Modern civilization, therefore, progressing on the basis of this false scientific theory, is simply creating problems to be solved by the so-called scientists. The author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita takes shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to describe the pastimes of his appearance as a child, because one cannot write such transcendental literature by mental speculation. One who writes about the Supreme Personality of Godhead must be especially favored by the Lord. Simply by academic qualifications, it is not possible to write such literature.
Hmm. So
Do
this is-
sorry?
yeah, so this is very, very important. Extremely important for each and every preacher in the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Things that are very difficult to do become easy to execute if one somehow or other simply remembers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So those of you who have taken out, have been very forward to preach, you know this. It's a personal experience of how Krishna reciprocate with you, how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu makes it easy. It's actually we go beyond. We actually go beyond human capacity when we preach. When devotees are distributing books, they are just going on and on and on. It's actually beyond, it's not human effort. We can feel it. Everybody knows, and that's why like devotees cannot stop. Once they get into this book, they just cannot stop. Those who actually going out every day and approaching people, they cannot stop because they become empowered as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Things that are very difficult to do become easy to execute if one somehow or other simply remembers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, all of us will like to take the example of Jayapataka Maharaj because he's very much obvious to all of us. But every devotee who have assisted in spreading the movement, they will, vouch for this statement. So the Hari Bhakti Vilas, yeah, so here Prabhupada said that a devotee, so that if one doesn't remember him, even easy things become very difficult. So if I think I will do everything by myself, my own strength, then however much we endeavor, we fail. So sometimes devotees get discouraged. They try to do something, they get discouraged. But if we are actually connected with the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are able to do the impossible practically. You've heard Prabhupada's statement about this word impossible. Who has heard Prabhupada's statement about this word impossible?
I have heard, Mataji.
What did you
Prab-
hear?
Prabhupada says impossible is a word in a fool's dictionary.
And in what context did he say this?
In context of I believe in context of expanding Krishna consciousness movement.
Oh.
You
He
know,
said that.
Oh, he said it, Mataji, he said it when Chaitanya Charitamrita had to be printed and the timeline for printing had to be compressed. So the devotees said it is impossible, and he said impossible. He put the stick in the ground and he said impossible is it.
ground. Walking on the beach, right? So Prabhupada had already translated the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita. And his disciples said, so they were delayed. See, Prabhupada's in anxiety. Remember, I said in how many years Prabhupada spread Krishna consciousness? How many years?
11.
11.
11 years, all right. So Prabhupada was already midway through that 11 years when he translated the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He was translating Srimad Bhagavatam. I think he translated the 5th canto. He stopped translating Bhagavatam and he translated Chaitanya Charitamrita. And now it was done. And his disciples are saying, yes, Prabhupada, this many months will take to print 1 volume. Prabhupada said, no, you are going to print this entire set. I think it was 17 volume at that time. 17 volume you're going to print in, I think, a couple of months. And so Rameshwar Prabhu was the main person. He said, impossible. And Prabhupada said, impossible is in the Fool's Dictionary. Do you know where Prabhupada got that line? Anybody knows from where did Prabhupada get that line? Impossible is in the word in a Fool's Dictionary. Anybody knows?
Napoleon Bonaparte, right?
Yes. Shenya knows. She got it from
I googled it, sorry.
God. It's not fair. So who said it? It was Napoleon who said it. So Prabhupada was a warrior, right? Remember, these Senapatis, all these associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all these associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are spiritual warriors. They are the weapons of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada, when he came, a fragile. You've seen how small Prabhupada looks? You have seen how small he looks? Even his bed is so small, right? A small Bengali, 70-year-old man, right? And he's going to shake the world. He's going to do what nobody could ever do, right? He's going to make people follow the 4 little principles and chant Hare Krishna the whole life. He's going to make them distributed millions of books. Build, I don't know how many temples are already there now. 600-700 temples are there now. And he's everywhere. His movement is everywhere, known everywhere. And just one small Bengali follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's a warrior, spiritual warrior. So he borrowed the phrase from Napoleon, because why did Napoleon say this? Impossible is in the word in the Fool's Dictionary. Why did he say this? Who's Napoleon? Anybody knows who's Napoleon? Google it. Just
He was like a French, like general, isn't it?
French general. He wanted to conquer the world, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right, and nobody can object to what he wants. So here was the spiritual conquest of the world. Prabhupada set out country to country, one after the other, one after the other. He went to conquer the world and give Krishna consciousness. So Just imagine, Srila Prabhupada, I'm just taking this sentence. Things that are very difficult to do become easy to execute if one somehow or other simply remembers Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If one doesn't remember him, even easy things become very difficult. To this Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I offer my respectful obeisances. So Prabhupada, he was with these youngsters. They were actually youngsters. His disciples were youngsters. He will call them boys and girls, meaning they were below 30, right? And these boys and girls, they knew Prabhupada 1 year, like Bhakti Chandra Swami knew Prabhupada for only 1 year, right? The oldest disciple knew Prabhupada for 10 years, 10, 11 years, right? Isn't it? And who he was giving the instructions to, who he's saying, you're fools, right? Just imagine the amount of faith that Srila Prabhupada could inspire in the hearts of these American boys and girls who haven't even heard about the name of Krishna few years before. What to speak of Shri Chaitanya? Absolutely, completely unknown. Srila Prabhupada could make them have so much faith that in 2 months, they publish. I'm not very poetic, I'm not very descriptive, my language is very poor. I'm not able to describe the phenomenon that these young boys and girls did. But you can read about it in Prabhupada Lilamrita, and you can hear the devotees describing what Prabhupada did when he translated his Chaitanya Charitamrita and got it printed. And Srila Prabhupada, he completed translation of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu where? In which temple?
Los Angeles Temple, Mataji.
Where did you read that?
Prabhupada Lilamrit.
He completed translation of
Chaitanya.
Chaitanya Charitamrita. Where? Here in on Hare Krishna land.
What I thought.
Okay, but most of the instructions he gave there for printing, yes.
Printing is in LA.
Yes.
Right? Translation was completed here in June, Hare Krishna land. So please read the concluding words. Viraj Swami, always read that. On which, oh my God, it was on Rama Ekadashi. 1 minute. On Rama Ekadashi, I think.
It was Rama Ekadashi.
Rama Ekadashi.
Yeah, the first time goes that he was not opening the door.
Yes.
And Guru Maharaj went upstairs, and his secretary says he was translating all night. I know that concluding words.
Right. Okay, so we should be able to remember all this and appreciate Srila Prabhupada. Because here things that are very difficult to become easy. See, it shouldn't just be theory, we are reading and it's not real, and then we go on with our own monotonous life. We can be part of something extremely exciting if you will throw yourself into the Sankirtan movement. We'll just relax at home and say everybody else will do and I will relax. You will not experience the mercy of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Extraordinary things happen when you dare to do great things. So Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati says, one who receives a little favor from the Lord becomes so exalted that he doesn't care even for liberation, which is sought after by many great scholars and philosophers. Similarly, a devotee of Lord Chaitanya considers residence in the heavenly planets as a will-o-wisp. He surpasses the perfection of mystic yoga power because for him the senses are like snakes with broken fangs. The yoga principles are meant to control the senses, but there is no scope for the senses of one engaged in the service of the Lord to be dangerous like snakes. These are the gifts of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what is it that make people fail? What is it that make people become miserable in their life? According to this paragraph, it is the
Material desires, no?
Forgetting Krishna.
it is a desire, like we work for our own selves, right? We work for our own ambitions. We work for our own self. And therefore, misery is awaiting us. Whereas, when the senses are controlled, we are using the same senses in a very powerful, violent, aggressive way, but for Krishna. So it's not that we give up, we just relax. Unfortunately, sadhus have a very bad reputation. People believe that when you come to Hare Krishna movement, you just relax. You have nothing to do, everything, you just relax. You take everything easy. You offer, I say, you offer service with your left hand, you do everything with your left hand, you relax. Right? So, Prabhupada moved, he set up a movement. When you come closer and closer and closer to it, you realize that it's extremely powerful, it's extremely dynamic, and there is huge work, even though it is pleasant. It is very pleasant and pleasing. So this first paragraph is speaking about the senses that are virulent because of the venom of the snake, but using our senses in Krishna's service give us immense rewards. Prabhupada said these are the gifts of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Hari Bhakti Vilas confirms that difficult things become easy to understand if one remembers Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And easy things become very difficult to understand if one forgets him. So here Prabhupada is saying that how the scientists, they cannot understand a simple thing, that life comes from life. These scientists were such great jnanis. They cannot understand a simple thing, that life comes from life. What is it? Very simple thing. They defend the false understanding that life comes from matter, although they cannot prove that this is a fact. Modern civilization, therefore, progressing on the basis of this false scientific theory, is simply creating problems to be solved by the so-called scientists. Right? We spoke about this earlier. So, when you take that premise that everything is coming from matter, meaning let me enjoy this material world now. It's the now. You don't know what is the future. You don't know whether there is an afterlife. This is all thought. We haven't seen. And here, again from this point about Srila Prabhupada going to the West, introducing this concept of soul reincarnation karma. Right? Make people become responsible for their activities. Convincing people convincing people to worship deity, right? Can you imagine what Prabhupada has done? People have no notion. I remember my Guru Maharaj saying that, first time was introduced to this idea of deities. It's not at all in their culture, in their tradition, deities. Today they are crazy of the deities. So the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, who is representative of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has the energy, the Shakti of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He could convince people who had scientists, who have so-called scientific ideas, he could convince them that there is life after death. So this is the power of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. See, I'm speaking of all this so that you have an idea. See, most of us here, we are from Indian background, so we already know about Krishna, or we know about Hanuman, Ramachandra. We didn't know Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now we are reading about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and we are experiencing, I'm describing the experience of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's power through Srila Prabhupada. Let's read one last text. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, and all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Prabhura Kahilai Janni Leela Sutra Yashodanandanaye che Haile Sachi Putra. I have thus described in brief the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared as the son of Mother Sachi, exactly as Krishna appeared as the son of Mother Yashoda. Srila Narottam Das Thakur confirmed this statement that now Lord Krishna, the son of Mother Yashoda, has appeared again as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, becoming the son of Mother Sachi. Rajendra Nandana Sachi Sutta Haila Se Balarama Haila. The son of Sachi is none other than the son of Mother Yashoda. And Nanda Maharaj and Nityananda Prabhu is the same Balaram. Sangshepa Kahila Janma Lila Anukrama Ebe Kahi Balya Lila Sutrera Ganana. I have already briefly spoken about the pastimes of his birth in chronological order. Now I shall give a synopsis of his childhood pastime. Vande Chaitanya Krishnasya Balyalinam Manoharam Nautikim Lapitam Nisha Cheshtaya Valitantaram. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the childhood pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Lord Krishna himself. Although such pastimes appear exactly like those of an ordinary child, they should be understood as various pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.11, this statement is confirmed as follows. Avajananti mamudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature and my supreme dominion over all that be. To execute his pastime, the Supreme Person Godhead appears on this planet or within this universe like an ordinary human being or human child. Yet he maintains his superiority as the Supreme Lord. Lord Krishna appeared as a human child, but his uncommon activities, even in his childhood, like the killing of the demon Putana or the lifting of Govardhan Hill, were not the engagements of an ordinary child. Similarly, all the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, they will be described in this chapter, appear like the activities of a small boy. They are uncommon pastimes, impossible for an ordinary human child to execute. All right. So we'll continue next time. So from text 6. All right. Anybody would like to say anything? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
ऐसा कहना चाहूँ माता जी, मैं ये बोलना चाहूंगी कि जैसे ये इसमें आया ना कि जो चैतन्य महाप्रभु को स्मरण करते हैं उनका काम इजी हो जाता है, तो अपने संडे के प्रोग्राम के बारे में मैं बताना चाहती हूँ कि हम लोग ने कितने अच्छे से, मतलब ये प्रोग्राम हम लोगों ने किया क्योंकि ये चैतन्य महाप्रभु के ऊपर था। कुछ भी हम लोगों को ऐसा नहीं लगा, लोगों ने भी इतना एंजॉय किया, हम लोगों ने भी इतने अच्छे से, मतलब अनबिलीवेबल, ऐसा फर्स्ट टाइम ऐसा लगा कि हम लोग पूरे मतलब स्टिक हो गए थे वहाँ चैतन्य महाप्रभु की लीलाओं में। बहुत ही अच्छा लगा, बहुत रेयर ऐसे हम लोगों ने प्रोग्राम इतना सक्सेसफुली किया है। तो ये जब आप ये आया ना, तो मुझे मेरे दिमाग में अपना प्रोग्राम ही आ रहा था कि कितने अच्छे से एक एक चीज, हर ड्रामा, हर डांस परफॉर्मेंस, सब कुछ बहुत अच्छे से हुआ। एक सुकून, एक सेटिस्फेक्शन अंदर से लग रहा था, हमने कुछ किया, बहुत अच्छा लगा।
Hari Bol.
थैंक यू माता जी।
So she's saying that this program that we had actually, it was in the Pasam Shichita Mahaprabhu. It went over 2 hours, 2 hours, 15 minutes. And I didn't plan it that long. But somehow, and of course, from my point of view, they were like, it was homemade, right? Every group, it was homemade, the music, everything, adding addition, everything. Oh, Anupama, you are in that line, right? You are that dubbing, you're a writer, right? Script writer, right? So you're professional in all this. So you know how, beginning on music, middle on music, ending on music. And my ears was going, oh my God, this, But as Shrikala Maharaj is saying, everybody was so happy despite all the imperfections. And they were enacted by kids from 3 years old, right? From 3 years old to maybe the oldest was 15 years old. Everything were kids.
Parents were also there, Mataji. 2-3 parents were also there.
Very minor, minor.
2-3 parents only.
Very minor role. We
But
had
children.
We had 100 participants, 75 children. 75 children in 3 or 4 groups. So for me, it was like, kacha, not at all professional, but Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and everybody was so happy. Yes. And for me, I was panicky actually. I was panicky because I saw so many children. How will handle this? Can you imagine backstage with 100 kids, right? Four groups plus all of us. But I went to Radha Ras Bihari. I didn't see Ras Bihari that morning. I didn't see him at all. Radha Rani came, Radha Rani said, my children, I will take care. And Bonita, I say, it's your program. Just want to go. I say, see, every program that we have put up, it's like you don't know what will be the outcome. And you don't know because, see, we are only giving opportunity to the groups, to the children, parents, teachers. We're just giving them an opportunity to do some seva, to, just enjoy themselves. And they work for 3 months. So in 3 months, the title has been given to them. And they're all school children. So in between their school, no time. All the holidays we have to postpone. Also exam, every month exam, right? Shikala, your group couldn't even take part, right? So then I say, it's all up to you. Every year you'll make it happen. So this time also you will make it happen. But I was very panicky because it was going beyond my capacity. Absolutely beyond my capacity. And everything happened by automatically, 100%. Automatically, everything happened. The devotees just came and took responsibility. That was the main thing. Each and every group, everybody, they just took, they took over the whole thing from my hands. So that's why it happened well. First time that I came out in that completely, I'm still alive. Yes, so that was Mahaprabhu's mercy.
Haribol.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Shikala, for reminding us.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.